We can just close our eyes, take a deep breath in for 4, out for 5. Our intention today is speak authentically through our heart, that we're able to connect to other souls in order for them to use the tools that we speak on to help them in their journey. And so it is.
So it is. Usa. All right.
Okay.
You ready?
So my intention would be to speak intently and to speak with integrity.
Okay. I love it. That's awesome. So
we're going to hit record.
Okay.
And
here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Recording in progress.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes, welcome to our podcast, and we have a special guest today.
AC, how are you? Welcome.
I'm chilling. I actually just realized my name on Zoom is actually Andy, so that's where that question came from earlier. Okay, you're asking about what my name is. Okay, sorry, my bad.
But it's just like Rima, like that's her, Riri is like her AC name.
Yeah, there you go, the AC name. Everyone's got to have an AC name,
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. So we're so happy to have you. We're right now in a full moon kind of vibe and
solar eclipse, Scorpio.
Yeah, absolutely.
She has a Scorpio placement as her rising, and I'm a rising and sun Scorpio.
Oh, so. Wow. And my last crazy ex was also a Scorpio, so we got that connection right there.
Welcome to the podcast. I promise we're not all like that. Okay?
No, I know. Y'all are cool. I like y'all.
Well, are you feeling the solar eclipse at all, first off?
See, I don't actually follow the moon stuff too much because there's already so much other stuff to follow, but I'm aware of when it's a full moon because all my friends tell me it's a full moon. So.
That's the best way to go, though. I love that vibe. I love that vibe.
Beautiful. Well, one of the things that we love to do when we have a new guest on is kind of get to know a bit about you, so our listeners get a feel for who you are and how you kind of come into your awakening. So my question for you is, when can you recall yourself first opening up to the idea that maybe there's something bigger than yourself at play in your life?
I love how that's a specific question, instead of the tell me about yourself. So that's great. So kudos to you. But I think most people come to spiritual awakening through pain and suffering, right? Like when you're actually going through some shit. Like otherwise you would never seek it out, So, for me, definitely was that, and it was in learning that the way that I was living my life, and the things that I was saying and the things that I was doing. It wasn't just going to lead me nowhere, it was just hurting people, and it was hurting myself, and mainly hurting myself. And when you realize that you can't function like that no more, you got to make a change, So I grew up my entire life as a Buddhist.
Okay.
My mom used to drag my ass to temple when I was young, but it was I didn't know what the hell was going on, right? but it was always a part of me. And then through high school, through university, I studied it a bit more academically. And then it really got me connected more to my Buddhist roots, and then things like karma and things like reincarnation and all that kind of stuff really started getting me thinking about spirituality, getting me thinking about all that kind of stuff. So from there, then going through some shit, I'm a divorced single dad, and I've been divorced for a while still, pretty much 8 years now.
No, same.
Oh, really?
I'm also a full-time single mom, and it's been 8 years for me too.
Wow. Okay. Well, kudos to you. I'm not a full-time single dad. You know what I mean? I share my kid, but yeah, no, that's a lot. 8 years though. So through that 8 years, went through a lot of shit because that whole thing crumbling, my whole relationship, my whole marriage was basically my fault. You know what I mean? And I kind of rushed into it. It was kind of whatever, But after coming out of that, all the pain and the shame, the guilt, especially as men feel, because you're supposed to be a provider, you're supposed to be a protector of your family. Here I am, the destroyer of my family, so having to deal with all that. And that's what led me to all my men's work, men's mental health work, and just going deep into spirituality, really studying almost all the time, and being in the community. I find being in the community helps.
Yeah.
When you're a community of really spiritual people, everyone kind of keeps each other kind of grounded and level, so.
Yeah, I love that. For me, my biggest thing is I always say pain pushes vision, because when you're in pain, you have nowhere else to go but up. And when you're uncomfortable, you need to find a way to be comfortable. So it seems like that's the step that you took. And it's actually really courageous. Like I hear what you said, and you said, you know, it's my fault or I did this. But the truth is you were courageous to make the step to find peace in your life. And we often make mistakes when we're younger, but we need mistakes to grow. So, you know, I'm a big advocate for men's mental health. And I think that it is really wonderful to have that space. And I like to know more of that, because you said you have a community. And how did you start to, you know, to kind of lead that community? And what does that look like for men?
There's not much community out there actually for guys. Like sometimes it pops up, sometimes it's whatever, and then like it kind of fades away after a while. And like my community is kind of like that too, but it's been running for a while. Like when I was saying community earlier, I meant like my spiritual community, but there's a lot of men in that too, and actually a lot of men I actually connect with within that group. But I actually run like the Ottawa Dads group. There's like a dads group out here on Facebook, so it's an online group, right? So it's kind of easy to run, you know what I mean? Like it's there if guys need to connect with each other, you know, make friends, get advice for anything that they need to. But also they go there with their problems too, you know, like either relationship problems. Oh, a lot of times actually. So we see that quite a bit. But it's been there, and I didn't actually start the Ottawa Dads group. It was like they probably must have started like 10 years ago, but I inherited it about like 5 years ago because the guy who runs it saw that I was running like another men's group. I started like a small men's group when I started learning about coaching and like trying to help men through divorce issues and things like that. But yeah, the guy just saw that I had Dad's group, and he's like, here, just, you know, I want to go run the Aylmer's Dad group. I want to be more like, he wants to be more intimate with the dads, and he's like, just since you're running a men's group already, why don't you just take over the Ottawa Dads group? And from there, took it until now, and it's been like, we got like another like 400, 500 members joining and stuff like that since then, which wasn't that long ago, which was great, yeah. And I need to get more in person though. The thing is, like, running a dads and men's group is hard because not many people are doing it, and like men don't even know that it exists, right? So it's hard to find things to commit to, and even like creating an event and stuff like that. Like this group's got like 1,000 dads, and I organized one time like going out to the bar and just hanging out just for the first time, getting to know each other. Only like 3 or 4 dads showed up, you know what I mean?
No.
But it was cool. It was cool because like I got to really connect with these guys.
That was what was meant to be.
Yeah. But I want to see more of those. It's nice to have that healthy brotherhood in your life, you know.
Totally. Speaking of brotherhood, do you feel like that's something that men need more of in their life, and to what capacity, and maybe why that's so healthy for them? Like creating that space.
So I personally actually don't have any brothers myself. All right. So I have 2 sisters. I never had a brother. And because I grew up in a household full of women, my mom, my grandma, my 2 sisters, my dad was like never really around. And I kind of craved that brotherhood, kind of like hanging out. And so my boys became like, these are my brothers, you know, these are my families. These are guys I ride for. And it was just chill with the boys all the time. I was one of those guys back in the day, like I would just chill in the guy gang, and like that was it. We didn't really go out looking for girls. Went clubbing sometimes and shit, but it was all about the boys. You just chill in the hood, you know? So it was cool. So I remember that. And you know, it's hard to make friends or keep friends like in your 30s and beyond and stuff. So especially for men who become dads and shit, they ain't got nobody. Like you mean just get caught up in the household and just get caught up in all the, you know, being a dad kind of stuff that you don't really make time for hanging out with your friends and shit. It's easy for me now. Like as a single dad, I'm just chilling. You know, I can see my friends and my boys whenever I want. So it's nice to have that space to share it, I guess, for those dads who kind of need a bit of an outlet. So
yeah, and so you've of course started your own podcast about men's mental health. For doing that, what can you now say, or because of what you've seen, like what would be like a tool or ability that men could benefit from either utilizing or implementing more into their life?
Like you're asking me about like one particular tool?
Yeah, like what's something that you've seen maybe over and over again? Like, okay, like this is maybe a universal thing that if men applied more, it could benefit them.
That's a good question. But I think like it would help. It'd be able to help women as well. But I think it's being able to look inside and not being afraid of what you find and kind of just dealing with it, you know, instead of running away and avoiding it. I think you were saying earlier, Riri, when you're talking about comfort and like going back to comfort, basically. You know, for men, that's a real thing. That's something I've been really thinking about lately too. When I don't know, but when it comes to that tool, yeah, again, what I was saying, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I smoked a little bit of a joint right before I came in.
The train left the station.
Yeah, the train just left the station. No, but like, the particular tool of looking within, though, that's what I was saying. Like that's extremely, extremely important because there's a lot that we can escape to, you know, especially as men. There's a lot that we can actually escape to, and it's too easy to do it. And what I meant before was that when you escape it, it's kind of like going back to that comfort kind of thing. And then we just actually got to get used to being uncomfortable, because like life is uncomfortable.
Yes.
You know, dealing with other people is uncomfortable. You know, so
you gotta be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
it's like riding a wave. It's like surfing. You know.
Yeah, you never know. Like that's life. So it seems that, you know, you have a lot on your, like you do a lot, like you have your hands in little baskets here and there, and that's awesome. But I want to ask you then, instead of a tool, in a sense, like what was your biggest lesson? Because I feel like, you know, we are all conditioned to be a certain way. You know, like as a woman, like I was conditioned to believe that I had to stay quiet and that I had to be a caregiver and serve my man and not be strong or powerful and have to always look good. Like there's certain conditions that I was given as a child, and I'm sure you were given in a different way. Like, what do you feel your biggest lesson was to accept yourself and be authentically you by removing the conditions?
I think being a dad was very important, a single dad, because like as a single dad, and I think you know too, you got to play both roles, right? You got to be mom and dad when you're around your kids. So I mean, when it comes to what people feel about men and what men feel about themselves, I think that's like everything right now. You know, when you see all of the Andrew Tate movement and like all these, you know, all these guys and the incels and everything like that, it's about, it boils down to like, what do they think being a man basically means, right?
Yeah.
And everyone who, you know, subscribes to that and kind of like puts fuel to that fire basically, right? Because it's alone, it's how we feel about what it means to be a man, but it's all society as well. You know, it's the world we live in, basically, right? And it's the same thing as you. There's the expectations, right? The expectations of being a man, the expectations of being a father. And it's just like every problem, though. Some people kind of run to it and deal with their problems, but then there's a lot of people who kind of just run away from their problems, too.
Yeah, but for you, like, what is it that you feel is to be a man? Like, what was your biggest lesson to be, like, grounded in your manhood, but also feel comfortable knowing that you couldn't fulfill these conditions that were brought onto you, right? Like, because you have a son, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is so funny because you were born into girls and now you have a son. So it's like you're able to be that example to him. So like, what is it? And I'm not talking about society. I'm more talking about you, because we're all individual. We bring different gifts to the table. And so I'm asking, like, for you, like, what does it mean to be a man, like, authentically?
I think, well, personally, authentically, for me, what it means to be a man is to be, you know, a man of your own word, right? It's important to you know, say what you mean and do what you say. Like in my case, like, you know, a man can't be bulletproof. A man can make mistakes. Anyone can make mistakes, right? A man is someone who can make amends for the mistakes, come back better, come back stronger. I think to me it means a man, and it's like living with integrity, you know. And from the mentality that I had growing up in, like, you know, the hood back in the day, back in Toronto, is like, you never think that, like, you're gonna do, you know, as just like a minority just growing up in the hood out there, it's like you never think you're gonna amount out to anything anyways, you know what I mean? And just that mixed with like the idea that you have to be a man and you have to, you know, be successful and all that kind of stuff, like that really already didn't really make me feel too well myself, right? So, but coming here and becoming a dad and really stepping into that role of like duty and like responsibility, like that really pushed me into believing more of what it means to be a man and to lead other men to do better, and then eventually to have more impact on the world and things like that. So that to me, I think is a man, is someone, of course, first and foremost takes care of his family, and number two, does something for this world. You know,
amazing. So, yeah.
Beautiful. If you could, like, possibly turn back time, because you were talking about, you know, you grew up in Toronto and there was certain maybe ideologies you had back then that maybe you've dismantled as of now. You could go back and talk to, like, your younger self. What's some advice that you would give them? What you know, especially about, you know, coming into your manhood.
I love your questions, yo. Each question is like so hard hitting, yo.
I'm a Scorpio, what'd I tell you?
Yeah, for real, very emotional. That's cool. I like it though. I'm here for it.
Deep.
I'm here for it. I know.
That's what we're here for the deepness.
The depth.
The depth, yo. The depth. What would I tell my younger self? that it's okay to love yourself. It's okay to learn how to love yourself, and to stand up for what you think is right, and that you can do whatever the fuck you want, you know? Like, you are the creator of your own fate, and you're also the creator of your own doom, you know, if you choose to think that way. So, I mean, and I'm still learning that myself. It's not like I'm some fucking magician out here, you know, making magic happen, but like, it's, as a kid, if you believe in yourself, and then, you know, things are stacked against you for you to believe in yourself back, you know, the mind makes so many excuses, right? Especially, and the environment as well. So I was telling him, just keep rising, put the blinders on, you know, because like that was a big lesson for me to learn, is just to stop giving a shit about what people think and what people say.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I'm just thinking about like all the things that you do, and I want to get to your son for a second, because fatherhood's important, and I would love to hear about it, because I'm on the opposite side of motherhood. And you know, for me personally, when I had my daughter, it was like the biggest gift, because it taught me that I need to change course right away. Like, it was like, I can't let the same karma happen for her, which means I need to heal myself. And a healing process is always, just like you said, we are magicians in a sense, but we're always healing. We don't know everything because we're here to learn. But personally for me, when, you know, I had my daughter, I realized that's what true love was. And I needed to be that role model to give her those tools, because when she's not with me, I can't control a situation. And so my question to you is, how has it been for you with fatherhood and doing it on your own? And yeah, I know you share custody, and that's wonderful, but you still had time alone with him. And that's a big opportunity for connection, but also an opportunity to make mistakes and learn from it. So like, what do you feel the biggest challenge of being a father was?
It's interesting, your question, because like, you know, you said like that moment that you needed to change and that you thought about changing was like when you had your daughter. We have a daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're like the complete mirror, actually, opposite of me. So that was a big part of it too, because like I think women, they bear a child, like, you know, with them for 9 months, they have like that special connection with this child. And when you give birth to that child, like that connection, it's not only instant, it's already there, you know, it's already been built, you know. And for me, like the first challenge, and probably the hardest challenge when it came to being a dad, was when I felt like, and this is like speaking as like authentically as possible. I've shared this before in the past, and it's not, a lot of people don't really know this, but like when guys like will have children, you don't always have that bonding moment right away. You know, you're almost like in shock of like, what's going on here? Like oh shit, it's going down now, because you didn't have to feel the pain. I didn't have
like, damn, I waited 9 months, but now it's actually happening.
Yeah, I mean, some guys step in. Some guys are like, wow, like okay, like this is like they're prepared for it mentally, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think I was prepared for it mentally, personally, right? Okay. So I didn't, and I was married at the time too, and I just like, I thought something was wrong with me, you know. I was like, yeah. Why aren't I feeling something? Why isn't this making the marriage get better? Because the marriage wasn't already that good at the time, you know. And like, I was like, man, this is supposed to bond the family together, and it was supposed to be this big, cool, amazing moment, a beautiful moment. And I'm like, yes, it's still a super beautiful moment. I have so many photos of like when, you know, Jackson was born. But yeah, so that kind of led to like me thinking like, okay, something's wrong here. Like I'm emotional. Am I a fucking sociopath or some shit? Like, what's going on? But then being in the dad's group, like a lot of other men kind of like agreed to this too, and then I started looking into it a little bit, and it's because like the mother is so maternal. The baby needs the mother when the baby's born, right? So it latches onto the mother. The mother's always taking care of it. But for men, it's like they take that role where you're not always around the baby or like, you know, cuddling the baby, you know, doing what you gotta do. Nowadays, men are a lot better, but back in the day, my dad that was the roles, right? The roles were like the dads are just out of the house working all the time, like nonstop. Yeah. Almost would never see the kid, right? I grew up like that, so I'm trying to change that. So when I realized that like I want to do better for my son and look down my ancestral line and stuff, that was when my kid was a bit older. Like I think men bond with their kids when their kids become like 4 and 5. They start playing games, they start, you know, communicating, and then the dads could really like play around and you know, like with the kid, you know, throw the ball around and just, you know, play games with rules and teach them and stuff. And It gets really fun. So I'm at that age with him now. He's 8 years old now, and like we are like best friends. You know, we do everything together. We just came back from Los Angeles together, just him and I. Yeah, we had an amazing time actually out there. So the chance to bond is a little bit later, I think, for men, and like I think men shouldn't give up until that point. You know, men should really be really involved around these ages, like these tender ages for the kids.
Yeah, I love that. You want to know a secret? I didn't bond with my daughter until 2 weeks later.
Damn, 2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah, like I'm very maternal. Like anybody that knows me, I'm like, oh, Mama, Rima. But I could not bond with her. Like it was really strange for me. I was like, who is this little human and what is she doing here? It was really uncomfortable. So it's like, we don't talk about this as parents, but you know, it was only until I almost accidentally killed her that I realized, oh wow, I actually love this thing, and I don't want to, you know, it just like, you know, she was taking a bath, and I was giving her a bath, and she swallowed water, and she, you know, and I realized in that moment, fear is what got me to bond with her. Wow. To be honest with you, and my change and shift was when I became, because just like you, I wasn't in a happy marriage, so it didn't bond us, and I stayed longer than I should have because I didn't want to break up the family, but then when I became a single mom, that's when my shift happened, because it was then when I realized I want my daughter to see me happy. I want my daughter to see me at my best. Like she deserves to see that. And that's where I feel like as single parents, that's when the shift happens, because either we choose to numb ourselves or the pain pushes vision. And that's what happened. So that was really where I was going. It's like when you became a single parent, you're also going through, you know, letting go of a relationship. You're letting go of people. You're mending your child's heart during that process. Like we're speaking about mental health here. So I know the perspective of mine, but I'd like to know yours. Like, how did you handle that in the turmoils of all these emotions?
You definitely have to step up, right? Like when shit's going down, like you have to make the first choice is, am I gonna step up and make the most of the situation, you know, make it up to anybody that I've hurt, and just try to go from there, right? That's what when we were talking about what does it mean to be a man earlier, I was talking about someone who amends their mistakes, does right, and like, you know, just owns up, is accountable. Yeah, so yeah, with him, it's like I really felt that too. Like when I became that single dad, and it was actually tough for me for a while actually. So like I wasn't actually able to see my kid for the first like year or two of his life, like too much. It was supervised visits, and it was only like a couple of hours a week. That was it, you know. So yeah, it was tough. It was tough. Yeah. She was like, we had a lot we had to deal with after divorce, just because like with, you know, getting rid of the house and everything like that, you know, figuring all that out, you know. So it was a very delicate time. Like I had to tiptoe around everything. But you know, a lot of dads might disagree with like what I did. Like they would have like fought to see the kid more and like, you know, take the kid out and stuff. But my kid was like less than 1 year old, you know what I mean? Like less than 2 years old. It wasn't, you don't want him to be bouncing around like that, you know? So like I didn't mind actually coming to the house, even though it was like super awkward every time I came around, but it was just a couple hours a week. I wasn't able to bond yet. But then when I was able to actually finally, you know, once we sold the house, like I'm in the house that I'm in now, which I love, is a beautiful home. And when I had that opportunity with him to actually finally, you know, now have him with me and like literally just start a life, like a straight up life. And this was when he was like 3, I think. Yeah, 3. Yeah, that's when things started really changing in my life, I think.
And hitting home, probably, like feeling that soul connection.
Yeah, having a home and like, something stable, you know, even though it's just by myself, you know?
Yeah. So where do you feel like you are now in your like journey? Because we consider, you know, life here like an ascension journey. Like you're always trying to, we believe in trying to, you know, like you said, like own up to your mistakes, but also like at the same time, if, you know, things are trying to course correct themselves, like how do you get to the next level? Like what's the next level for you? What are you currently working on internally?
Every time you think you get somewhere, you know what I mean? You get humbled, you know? When it comes to that. So like I've not, like, I mean, maybe at one point in my conscious life, like I really thought that I was like, oh, I'm really, you know, really feeling woke, you know, at the time, you know, like, you know, that was the term at the time. Now it's a funny term, right? Now it's a derogatory term.
Or a buzzword.
Yeah, exactly. But Sorry, what the fuck? Okay, sorry. What the hell were we just talking about? Okay. Oh my god, sorry. I literally spoke a
I'm going to answer the question.
Yeah,
for
okay,
you.
give me the
I think your current internal journey is more sleep and deep rest.
Okay, yeah, honestly, that was such a big ass question. No wonder I fucking lost it, because it was such a deep, like, where am I now? You know what I mean? But really, in this cosmic world, like, where the fuck are we? You know, like, what, like,
time does not exist, so that's for one.
Yeah.
For two, you're on Starseed Sistars podcast.
Yeah, I'm Marie.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Big reminder. Yeah. Big reminder. No, I meant, no, like, okay, no. No, what I meant is that, like, you know, especially even after yesterday, I had such a big, like, awakening yesterday, because I had a really busy last couple of weeks, right? So much has been going on. I've been, like, doing that trade show for, like, the 55 plus, like the legacy stuff. Yeah. It's been really a deep reflection of, like, how I really want to spend my time, what really brings me like purpose and joy, you know, myself, really, you know what I mean? Because you'll never be able to deplete that if you actually find something that, like, you really deep down, when you do it, it brings you joy, you know?
Yeah. And what is that? Can you share it?
Honestly, I'm just trying to figure that out, because like when yesterday I was really posed this crazy question that, like, if without the context of others, right? Because I love helping others, I love serving, I love leading.
Yeah.
Like, it brings me, I would say it brings me joy, right? But then I'm almost in a deep reflection right now, thinking about, like, what does that bring me joy because of, like, really brings me personally joy, or am I just doing for other people, and am I just, you know, some type of a people pleaser, you know? So really finding out what brings me actually personally, just myself, almost like kind of selfishly joy, you know, that's kind of what that's what I've been trying to, like, figure out. And this is like very recent, like, you know, like the spiritual journey, the conscious journey there's so many twists and turns, you know, and like
it's like you're on a roller coaster. Yeah.
You just never know. You think that you're like, peace, whoosh. Another lesson. Yeah.
There's no levels anymore. You know what I mean? I don't think that it's like a level up. I don't even know what it is anymore. It's like a map, and you just gotta find where you're going, you know?
Yeah.
Eventually with this.
Yeah, if that resonates, I believe in finding peace. Like, that's just where I'm at, and finding peace in the chaos.
So
like,
important.
That's where I'm at.
So you can't change the fact that there's always chaos.
No.
But you can change your approach to the chaos.
And that's working on myself. And what I'm hearing you say, which is really beautiful, because we do need to take time, and it's not selfish, but it's time to find out what really truly brings us joy, which then brings us to, like, a whole bunch of inner child healing, because we thought that helping this person and pleasing this person brought us joy, but no, it was just a reflection of what we were giving the other people that was giving us joy. But what do I really love is so difficult, especially as a parent, because, you know, we are here to please, in a sense. Like, yesterday, for the first time in my life, I joined a dance class by myself. I was able to leave my daughter alone for the first time for an hour. Chelsea was here while she was there, but I went and did something for myself, and I found the courage to do it. And I was like, I freaking love this. Like, I look like a crazy person, I'm going to tell you, because these girls were professional dancers, and I was like, hey. But I did it. And it's like trying to find those little things that allow us to be creative, allow us to be ourselves. Because remember, AC, like, you are unique, right? Like, you are you. No one else is you. And so to find your deepest purpose is important for the collective, because only you can share your story. And I think that we are on that same journey of what is our unique story, and how can we vulnerably, authentically talk about it so other people can hear it and kind of connect. So that's why when I ask you, like, what are your lessons, or what did you learn, is because there's someone else listening that be like, I went through that too. And there's never judgment here. Like, we're all on this journey together. So it's like, it's nice that you're finding that. Like, what do you think, if there is one thing that really, truly, just if you really think about it and close your eyes and think about what truly just puts a smile on your face, like, what do you think that would be?
Well, my son, anytime I think about my son, but, like, you know what I mean? He's something, would you consider that something external from you, or internal, you know? But he like literally just brings me, like, straight up joy and purpose and sense of living, and, like, literally everything, you know? So
beautiful.
When it comes to myself, what do I love? I love, again, it's a thing about other people anymore. Like I just love connection. I just love when everyone's on the same. I love peace too. Peace is my jam. You know, like if I don't have peace in a relationship, or if I don't have peace with what I'm doing for work, or like anything, and that includes like it's all mental peace, right? It's inner peace. I almost kind of don't even want to do it. But then I don't know, like, is that in this world, like you kind of have to like accept things and like plow through things, but like you can't always have inner peace, you know, you're always gonna have chaos and conflict and stuff like that. So it's almost like a whole change of philosophy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
I guess. Again, if that resonates with you.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, I'm trying to find peace in the chaos regardless. I try to ask myself empowering questions during the chaos, like what do I need to embody in this moment? So I think happiness doesn't come all the time. I think that's what comes in little waves, but peace we can strive for sure. But you said dating. And I kind of want to ask some questions if you're open to, because we started our podcast with heartbreak, and now we're kind of like diving into conscious dating, and I like to get your perspective, because I mean I know my perspective, so I like
sure, yeah, why not?
Perspective. No, I don't want to vent, but I just want to be like, how is it on the other side?
Let's get the wine out. Let's all go grab a glass of wine and start venting.
Let's do this. Like, how is it on the other? Listen, we're all here for it, but like, how is it on the other side? Like, are you actively, are these too personal, then you can say, no, I don't want to answer, but are you actively dating? And if so, is that easy for you? What do you feel that a woman could do, or the opposite of who you're attracting can provide, in a sense? I don't know. Is that,
are you talking about in the sense of like being a parent, I guess, or?
No, just
spiritual dating.
Oh, spiritual dating.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Like, what is your approach to it? Because I think you're trying to understand from the masculine.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, it goes back to the thing about peace, right? Like, it's like, and it's hard to find peace in people now. You know, everyone's, even if they're not spiritual. Like, so even if you're a spiritual person dating someone who's maybe not aware of that kind of stuff at all, I mean, a lot of this stuff, inner stuff, applies at least to you. You know, I mean, it applies to them too. They just don't know it. You know, so. So it's hard to find someone that you can actually vibe with and like actually chill with, and like, you know, people are getting triggered all the time about whatever. Sometimes I feel triggered about certain things too, you know what I mean? Like, it's just things that bother people and turn-offs and stuff like that. Like
what?
Oh damn, okay, now I'm on the hot seat. Okay.
No, I'll tell you mine, but I'm asking because, like, let's hash it out. Let's
Yeah. Well, I can be a picky.
I'm a hot seat. I'm like.
Well, I can be picky. I can be first of all, I can be a really picky person. You know what I mean? And like when it comes to the mindset and like, you know what I mean, like how someone really thinks about something, or how someone approaches life's problems, and you know, their ability to move past them and stuff like that. Like, it's hard to find someone who just vibes on that level and just really like understands things, and like. And peace is important. Like, so for peace for me, for peace for that person has to be important too, you know, and they have to understand, you know, the steps, the diplomatic good steps to take to get to peace, you know. So.
How would you become aware whether that person has that peace or not, though? Like, what would be a key indicator for you?
Okay, so it's a good question, but like you can feel it, you know, when someone's, you know, you can feel it when someone's really like kind of just agitated or angry inside or something like that,
That's
you know.
palpable.
Or someone just has something, it's like it's almost blaringly clear that someone has some unresolved trauma that they got to deal with, you know?
They're projecting on you,
Yeah, that's like the number one culprit of, you know, any kind of acting up and like, you know, really just causing a scene, you know, it comes from somewhere, you know? But like, yeah, you would kind of just see early on, just, you know, through interactions, so, you know, maybe, you know, whatever you guys choose to fight about, you know, however you guys choose, you know, whether you're petty or not, you know, like you kind of see all that kind of stuff while dating. So it's hard, you know, honestly, dating is actually hard spiritually, I think, because like I love purpose, I love sense of purpose, I love when things mean something, at least, even if they're not going anywhere, you know. So like if I don't have either of that, then like I'm not gonna date, you know. Otherwise, actively I am dating. I try to date people who are cool, and people who I jive with, and like that's it, you know, just trying to, but then obviously that means like, you know, contrary to a lot of other guys would do, who go on a quantity amount of dates, you know what I mean? And just do whatever they can, but all that's just avoidance, right? Like all that's just like, you're like, I don't have the fucking time to do that, first of all, you know. Imagine dating like 4 or 5 girls at the same time. Like, I got a fucking kid to take care of, I got work to do, I got all the shit I gotta do, you know? So, so already like that's like you just can't, so you have to just date someone of value. You gotta find someone of value, and then like it just, you know, it takes time to kind of get to know somebody a little bit. But like when I kind of start seeing some of those like my own kind of red flags that like are in my head, like I gotta just be like, I just gotta move on, you know. So
Yeah, and you don't tell them, right? You don't tell them like these are not.
She wants to know if you would ghost them.
No.
Well, first of all, I don't do it. I don't like that.
And then that's actually I'm asking like, so personally for me, like I'm at a point too. Like I am not fully ready to date yet, but when I tried, like I was like, I'm gonna get myself out there and I want to see what the conversation.
How come though?
Like.
Why are you not ready? Are you not comfortable
I
yet?
just went through a heartbreak a year ago.
Oh, a year ago. Okay.
I'm still mending, and I feel whole, and I feel like I'm ready. And I did test it out to see if I was going to be triggered or if there's some lessons I need to learn about myself, because I feel like I need to be at a place that I'm fully whole without attachment or expectation, so that when I'm out there, I could be fully authentic and vibrate and mirror what I'm looking for. And so I want to go out there with that respect to say,
well,
okay,
that's very considerate of you. That's extremely considerate of you, right? But a lot of people are not like that, right, in the dating pool. So actually 99.9% probably are not like that. So.
And I get that. I'm really lucky because the conversations I had were really great. But like for me, I guess because I am working on myself, that honesty is very important. And I feel like if someone's not jiving, we should be like, you know what, we're not really like connecting. It's okay. But I don't even know where I was asking.
I had mentioned the ghost.
Oh yeah, you did. So no, my question to you is like, if you see red flags, because we all are on a healing. Listen, regardless, you come with baggage, I come with baggage. And Chelsea comes with baggage. We all have but we all have their designer and their beautiful
designer bags. Yeah, they better be.
There's a load of shit in there that we bring with us into a relationship, regardless. And I believe that relationships, whether it is friendship or dating or whatever, comes with lessons for us to grow. Like it's important. So if we see these flags, are we willing to be open to letting that person know that they can maybe come to the table and heal that with you and grow with you? Or are you like, are the flags so big you're like, no, I don't even want to be around that? Because it depends on what flags we're looking at, obviously. But that's what I'm asking, because it's just on the opposite end of things. I think that it's been so long since I've gone out there, and I think people online, it's very easy to just be like, ghost, block.
Yeah, it's way too easy to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like that was like I just wondered if it was the same for you, and like how do you handle those situations?
You can't. I don't think you just can't. In my philosophy, you just can't change people. You know, so like So knowing that like I'm coming to meeting someone or like, you know, starting to chat with someone, getting a relationship is just like, okay, if I this person doesn't change at all from this moment, like, am I cool with that? You know, basically.
True.
Right. So
that's a good question, actually. I want to repeat it because that's actually we like bringing tools into this podcast. So it's like, okay, so say it again. So if this person is
not willing to change. Okay, so anyway, so
not willing to change.
That's because I knew that about myself, because like when I was in my marriage, when I knew it was over for sure, it was like only things like, do I want to work on this or not? That's it. That was the only question I asked myself, and I couldn't answer that question, or I answered it by saying like, no, I actually don't want to work on this right now, and that's it. Marriage is done at that point.
Done. Period.
Yeah.
And I love that you said that, because we're all about growth, right? Like relationships are about growing. Once the growth stops, it's done. The contract is done, spiritually and I guess like legally done. And that's okay. And I think that we are raised to believe that we have to fight even if we're unhappy, and that's not the truth. Like we need to be able to help each other grow in a sense that we can help humanity. Like that's the whole point of connection and community. And so yeah, I was just wondering on your side of things, because it is new for me. I mean, like Chelsea, like you've gone through it too. Like you've seen different things.
No, I've seen everything.
Now you're in union, but now she's in union. So it's like it's just interesting. I think that if people do the healing and they show up as who they are with integrity, honesty, and love, compassion, I think dating would be a lot easier.
Yeah, but like AC was saying, like that's very considerate of you to do what you're doing, and 99.9% of people don't. What percentage would you deem that to be men?
No shade.
I mean, it's probably probably the same. Like honestly, so are you trying to say do women work on their shit more than men? I'm not sure. I don't know.
One way of looking at the question.
Yeah, right. No, that's because the percentage. I would say it's like half and half, but then like you know, what I mean, is that a cop out answer? You know?
No, it's not. But I think it'd be a great question for your single dad group and put like a poll on there because like in order for us to help each other, you know, my girlfriend is also single and on Tinder, but she's not getting the responses I'm getting. So we always talk about like, well, why? Like, what kind of energy are we putting out there, and how do we shift that energy? Because spiritually, we like you want to meet someone to grow with. I'm assuming you want a partner, a union, right? So it's like, what do we need to do in order to vibrate and receive that mirror back?
So it's knowing that like 99.9% of people going through relationships or going back into the dating pool with still unresolved shit, right? Like it's just just knowing that. Like I mean, I'm obviously a part of that percentage. You know what I mean? It's a very very big percentage.
Pee in the pool.
There's always that's it. You know what I mean? There's pee in the pool and it's a sunny day. You know what I mean? It's fucking like 38 degrees.
Sorry, I just need to laugh at this for a second because it's like 99.9%, and then they pee in it. So it's just, you know.
You just gotta be able to accept the pee, you know,
I
like.
like swimming in Moody's Bay.
Yo, honestly, okay, you know what? It's funny that I literally was just thinking about Moody's Bay because like I'm a beach volleyball player, right? So I'm there all the time, yo. So I'm actually like I'm constantly in that water all the time, like while they're washing myself. Some of my kid jumps in that water, so like to me it's like it's a metaphor for dating, the dating pool, basically. You know what I mean? So I'm enjoying the water on a hot day, you know. So.
At least you're risking yourself for love. And
no, it's not like that. It's not like that anymore. But I'm just saying, whether it's dirty, I don't mean physically dirty. You know what I mean? I mean like working spiritually. Yeah. You know, physically dirty is like ain't nobody got time to go do the fucking STD test like all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Like you gotta really keep it clean. So
this is the most interesting episode. This is the best. I have a question for you. I know. Do you feel that men are responsible to pay every time you?
No, of course not.
Good. Like then this is so. Like
when do you pay?
Oh,
first date. I always pay first date.
So you do pay
no matter what.
Oh, no matter what.
So do you feel that's so that is a responsibility in a sense? Like, do you feel like that?
It's just something if there's gonna be a discussion about it, or I'd rather there not be a discussion about it. I'll just take care of it. You know.
Wow. See, that's honorable. And I asked that question because I think that like men are conditioned to believe that they feel like they have to be the person to pay all the time, or they have to provide. Or
just be selective. Just be selective with who you date. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna like. Not every girl deserves to steak dinner. You know what I mean? Like, so. You know, so sometimes, but you know, some guys they do the coffee thing instead. They're just like, oh, let's just go have a coffee.
Well, yeah, because I mean, listen,
I'm not eating in front of you on a first date.
Really?
Or like
no.
Really?
Oh my god, I can't.
Why? Is there something wrong with how you eat?
It's too vulnerable for me. I'm like,
thank you for taking me for dinner. This is amazing. No.
Yeah.
I guess that's how I eat. Like, I like to like really like savor my food. Like,
that's fine.
I can't like make out with my food in front of somebody.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's cool though.
I mean, it depends on what we're eating. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's also like too committal. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna want to jump at like
that's
30-minute mark. You know what I mean? Like, coffee is like.
True. Okay, so you see it that way. Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. The exit strategy. You know what I mean? Like, you just get out of there real quick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We drive myself. All that jazz.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Like it depends on the person. You already know the vibe before you're entering, and hopefully.
Sometimes. Okay, sometimes it's quick. You don't and stuff like that. But nowadays I'm more. I actually want to take time. I actually want to know about somebody because I just can't. My schedule's all fucked up. It's like I can't.
Your energy too. Like you can't spread it so thin. You just can't be like.
No.
Yeah. I have a question. So like we're talking about like what it means to be a man and all that, but there's a term. Divine masculine for a reason. How would you distinguish that term for yourself and in general?
Well, for myself, it's like I think the masculine energy is like very action, task oriented, and just action, doing things, you know, doing it. And like I've been doing a lot really, but like there's something within me that tells me I'm not doing enough all the damn time. I don't know. It's just like a little inner child shit, you know. So.
Or starseed.
So it's really just something that like I always think about all the time. It's like am I doing enough, or am I doing enough in terms of impact or efficiency? Even like am I making the most? Am I making the most of my time? You know, so that really makes me think about that for sure.
Are you a starseed? Do you know?
What's this? Okay, tell me. Can you educate me on what a starseed is?
Yeah. So, usually before I tell you what a starseed is, usually when you are younger, you feel like this is not your home. You feel like different. You're like the
Black sheep.
colorful rainbow. I'm not gonna say black sheep because I feel like everybody says that, but you're just very different
The unicorn.
than everybody else. You feel like you need to always be in service, that there's something that's meant for your mission, but you don't know what it is, and you go through a very, very difficult lessons to get to where you are. Tough. And so what a starseed, what I know of, and maybe you explain what you think, is a starseed comes down to Earth through, as a soul to help humanity grow. And there's different types of starseeds, so maybe that's something you can look up to see if that resonates.
No, it makes sense. So you're the Starseed Sisters though? So are you guys bonded through being Starseeds? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100%.
So because Rima's saying you come down here for a mission, right? Your whole journey of your initial, younger years, your child years, are you kind of awakening to what your mission is or what you kind of said yes to? So that feeling of, am I doing enough is related to that mission because you feel it's your purpose for being here. So if you're not doing it to the scale that you're maybe meant to be doing it in the long term, you could be connecting with that energy that's ahead of you and feeling it because you're supposed to be getting there. And that's where your whole path is kind of meant to go anyway. So a lot of times it's not that you're not doing enough right now. You're just connecting with your future self, your higher self. And it's a matter of how you're speaking to your higher self that can possibly help you combat that feeling in a more productive way.
It's true. Do you guys know a little bit about numerology and stuff like that?
Oh, heck yeah. I'm an 11/11 baby, November 11th.
Yeah.
No way.
Cool. My birthday is 9/9, but I'm my angel numbers lately have been 8/18. What are yours?
Oh, well, angel numbers, I see angel numbers all the time. I don't know if I actually have my own angel numbers, but I'm a big, a lot of sevens, right? So, the reason okay, very cool. I'm May 7, 1987. My birthday is actually on Sunday, so. Thank you.
Birthday!
Taurus season, yeah. But, no, so in numerology, apparently you heard of karmic debt and stuff like that. Have you heard of that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was just an interesting kind of contrast to, when we were talking about purpose and what's my purpose and stuff like that. My karmic debt is number 19 basically, right? And I was looking it up yesterday, and the 19 it's all ego based basically, right? I was reading. I'm so new to this shit. I'm so new to numerology. I'm so new. I'm new because I like to be ignorant to stuff. Like I told you, I was ignorant to the moon cycle and everything. You know what I mean? Because I think ignorance is bliss. But I learned enough over my years to know a little bit, right? So, so so it says that maybe in my past where I may have used my power, my ego over other people, and I did a whole life where I was just taking. And karmic debt 19 basically means that in this life, I have to serve back just to make up for that bullshit from the last one.
Amazing.
Yeah, wow. Right? So
awesome.
Imagine, no, but that's such a depressing friggin' purpose, you know what I mean? So, but it's something to think about, right? And it's something to build upon. It's all about perspective, right? So now it's okay, now if I have to live a life of service, how best am I going to serve?
Yeah.
Right? And
that's beautiful. And honestly, see, I'm the same way. I feel like sometimes I'm not doing enough. And then when I sit down and write down the things I do, I'm like, damn, I'm doing a lot. I need to slow down. But the one thing I heard, which was really beautiful, and I'll share this with you before we tally up here, but to be of service doesn't have to be something so big. If you were in a room and the person that was with you left feeling better, you are in service. It's not about the magnitude, it's about just that one person. And to me it sounds like even just with your son, you're in service. So and then all the other things that you have going on, you're in service. So welcome to your remembrance and welcome to your awakening. And I hope that it is so chaotic that it breaks you open to fully being in your purpose, and allow it, be there. We're here for you if you ever need any kind of understanding, and I hope that Starseeds really resonate with you. But it's beautiful to have you here, and I think that there's a lot that you're going to be able to help with in this timeline. And it seems like you've already gone through it in the last 2 weeks. You've gone in so much information overload.
A lot of downloads.
Yeah, you're like, where am I? What's happening? Because your brain's just like, what is happening to me right now?
And I think that's actually so in tune with, the moon cycle.
Mm-hmm.
To let you know about that, because and you don't need to follow it, but I think like I have a strong hold to speak on it to you, so I feel like that this moon could mean something. Not all the moons may need to mean something to you, but this one specifically because it is in your opposing sign of Scorpio, so it's a mirror back
That's
to
right.
you, your Taurus. To with all the information that you now currently have, to just slow down and wait until you feel a possible teaching from it. Because in our last episode, we talked about the eclipse, and we were saying that we're students of it right now. We're not doing too much. We're just kind of slowing down and letting it teach us, and letting the information kind of soak in, like we're our souls, our aura, like as if we're a sponge, and then waiting on the other side for it, without resistance, without force, and then just seeing what arises from it, because that is what a Scorpio is. We rise from the ashes. We're the phoenix of the zodiac. So that's kind of the role that we're playing in humanity right now for this solar eclipse. So that's my wish to you, is that you take time for yourself, the next coming days, this weekend, and have some self-love and really just love on you and your soul. And I think my other wish is that you really tune into the butterfly effect, which is part of serving, right? It's kind of like if you flip over a domino, it could set off an earthquake somewhere else in the world. So if you make one soul happy, that could change the course of their direction to every other soul that they touch and meet. And that's how we can really truly make an impact.
Wow, amazing.
I'm so grateful to have you on. Thank you so much for coming.
I have one more question.
I'll say one thing.
No,
it was a whole thing about, but thank you for that. That was incredible, actually, very, very enlightening. But when it comes to purpose, I just want to share something one of my friends actually told me one time, and he was like, everyone's always looking to find their purpose and search for their purpose, but instead what you should be focusing on is living a life of purpose. So like almost a lot of small purposeful actions.
I resonate with that.
I love it. That's beautiful advice. I love it. So we always ask one question, this year. And so if you were to have one word that can change the world, what would that one word be? Said it slow.
Oneness, I would say.
That is beautiful. I love it. And we soak it in. We thank you so much for your presence.
No problem. Thank you.
Peace.
Always.
Thank you.
Peace upon you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Till next time. Bye.
Recording stopped.
That was fun. Cool. You guys thought it went well?
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was cool. I was just like all up in my thoughts, yo. Like it was like holy shit, like yeah, that was very cool.
You feel good though?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, you guys are good. You guys are consistent with this too, huh? Like how many
once a week.
We do this every week.
Amazing. Good for you.
Yesterday we did it laying down.
Yeah, you.
I had a blanket wrap like a fucking croissant.
Yeah.
And I had ice pack on my forehead.
Yeah, we were just like, let's just get this out because we have to. But yeah, this has been fun for us to be in mission for sure.
Do you guys live together or something or?
Yeah.
Well, we just moved in. Well, she just moved in with me a couple of days ago.
Oh no way. Okay.
Well, the solar eclipse was like, you need change, and I was like, okay.
And we're like. So it just we did the podcast at Chelsea's place last year, and then we brought it here, and then all of a sudden we're like, well, might as well live here, which has been awesome, at least for me too, because it's like now I have
it's amazing.
I have no support, so it's really nice to just even have her presence here. I could go out and Anna's around, but I have an idea for us guys. I have an idea. So you're on this Facebook group, right? Mm-hmm. I think we need to plan a spiritual dating meet and greet.
What meet and greet?
Like a spiritual dating.
Oh, spiritual dating meet and greet. Yeah, what? I have a friend actually who runs. Okay, I don't know how you feel about this idea, but I have a friend who runs like a speed dating kind of service out here. But it's fun. They go to bars and it's actually pretty cool. And they do themes, right? So they do like, so let's say you're like a whole bunch of basketball fans or something like that. They'll do a basketball theme, and everyone who's interested in basketball come. Right, so it'd be 10 guys, 10 girls. It's a spiritual one, yeah. But that'd be cool.
We should test it out just to see. Just to see.
I can suggest it to the lady who's running it. Yeah.
I know, that's what I mean. Like
you will be the fly.
I decided to be the fly.
Yeah, we could see if we can do that, and then you could post, and we'll post just to see if that's something that people would be open to. Because I don't listen. There's different types of spirituality. It's become a woo woo, in a sense, everybody. I'm a trend. It's a trend, but I'm conscious, but I'm still gonna go have fun and enjoy my life.
Of course, that's what life's all about.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're singing Kumbaya all the time. I'm just
and
like
not drinking and just like
no.
literally.
So it's just like we need to find the middle ground of that group and see if we could bring them along, and then
Organization.
yeah, and I think that would be good just to.
Wait, what are your okay? Let me just ask you, what are your thoughts on the spiritual community as a whole, anyways? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's easy to group everyone into this big monolith, but you have a lot of different personalities.
I don't believe in spirituality anymore. I believe in consciousness. I believe that we are all here for a purpose and we're on mission. And spirituality is not a religion. Everybody.
I meant community. I meant community, like in the community here.
Here, it's weird. I'm starting to be open to meeting new people, and what I'm seeing is very much what I don't really vibe with. But I want to bring that change. Like, I do want to bring that change because I think that people are scared. Like, I'm scared, to be honest. Like, there was a circles group which I invite Chelsea to come to because I don't want to go alone. I don't know what they're about. Like, I'm just...
those circles, the spiritual circles.
How do I say this nicely? I mean, okay, I'll just
say it.
I'll shoot it straight. Yeah. It's like imposters.
Yeah.
People who, like, come across, and on Instagram I'm not great at checking auras from a phone, but when I'm with somebody then I can kind of like feel it out better. But like if someone's posting about like an event or something like Rayma's mentioning, like I won't be able to tell energetically if this is legit or not till I'm there. And there's a lot of those people where you come across where you're like, oh, like you're in it for the ego, you're in it to say that you're better, like even in if you want to say spirituality, like that community, like it's a battle of the ascensions, like, oh, well, I do more yoga than you do, and I meditate more, and it's like, whoa, where did we, like, fall off the boat here? Like, we're all on the boat. Get back on the boat.
Yeah, we're not on the pee pool. We're on the boat. Like, get out of the pee pool and get on the boat. What about you?
So my whole point about that question was that, like, imagine getting those people to come to speed dating, you know what I mean? So it's going to be just as bad as regular dating, I think, in my opinion.
Well, I don't know, because I think that depends on who's running it. Like, I mean, if we're vibrationally and intentionally setting something up, it may be weird the first time, but if we allow people to be comfortable and they see who
Yeah, like no, what I mean is that the creeps are going to show up no matter what. There's the spiritual creeps, there's the spiritual creeps, and then there's the non-spiritual creeps, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes
there are spiritual creeps everywhere, but the thing is, like, let's see what comes out, and if we know...
give the real ones protection while we're the ones.
And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I think that we need that opportunity, and like, you know... I think it's scary because we use the word spiritual and people think like something completely different, but we can use a different word. We don't have to say spiritual. We could say like awakened or like authentic or like something where people can...
Conscious is a good word, I think.
Conscious dating, like it just, I don't know. This entire episode helped me realize I'm starting my own business too. And I think this is something I need to put on there is conscious dating. Like it's being authentic, coming healed, not dating until you feel whole. Like
I think, in general, there's going to be, like you're saying, those creeps. But I think it's like, one, we can do our best to like filter out with like questions or and kind of what's the word I'm looking for, suss people out basically. Fire. And also while we're there, like, you know, if we see those people, like just keep guard of them. And then you're out of here.
No, that's why you need the good masculine energy there, you know what I mean? You have to
but I also love the idea of like I play the game like We're Not Really Strangers, where like you basically ask like your partner like questions from a card. Like we could do like a spiritual deck of some sort.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I like the questionnaire idea. I think to work and clear it out.
Like giving them questions and it breaks the ice immediately, and I think it could, you know.
That deck would be cool. Yeah, making a deck about like with questions, the conscious questions. That's awesome.
The conscious questions before they can even go in there, so people know. Oh, everybody's doing this, so we're going through it to make sure it's a safe place. So I think the more we do that, like the more people will come through. I don't know, it's an idea.
It's a good way to meet people, I think. You know, just like online dating and like anything that's organized dating, like I feel like it's like if you have to like organize it or push it, and this is a philosophy thing, right? Because I found like my best connections in my life, my best partners that I've ever met in my life were all organic. You know, I met them in real life, just happening, doing something or just going somewhere. The online has been a disaster, right? But like when it comes to like bars, even places like that, I don't like meeting people at bars, but if it's like through a conscious event, that was my point, is like if you're making an event, it doesn't have to be necessarily a dating event. It could just be an event where conscious people get together, chill, and maybe just talk about love. You know, like
that's another option without taking the dating away.
You take the pressure of the dating off, and then like you're there just to Yeah, you guys are all there. You guys.
If you're single.
Well, you
Yeah,
can
exactly. Exactly.
I'm green, single, red. Don't fucking talk to me.
Oh my
and
God.
then yellow.
You can just share in circle. Share in circle. You know, it's just talk and everyone talks about it, so you know who's there for what. You know.
Yeah, so an idea that maybe we can percolate in the future. I just thought about like it would be nice to see. Yeah, it would just nice to see like normalized spirituality.
For sure. Well, I mean, I can like I feel like I'm hanging out with a pretty good group spirit. You're in Ottawa, right? You guys are both in Ottawa. Yeah. Like yeah. No, I have a. I feel like I landed on a pretty good spiritual group. Then we do a lot of cool, fun stuff like dances, parties where we don't. There's not much drinking, but like we're just. You know, I mean, it's really cool. It's conscious. We kind of police ourselves, and like it's all good. You know, so.
Sign us up. Like I'm open to community for sure. It's important.
It's really chill. Yeah, like it's really. Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you know a lot of the spiritual community out here? Like.
I'm starting to be open with it because I'm starting to go to events and I'm like working with people like that. So
whose events are you going to?
Like there was the Woo. I didn't.
Oh, the Woo. Yeah.
You know Maggie Meyer?
Yeah, Maggie Meyer. Yeah, she's a bit older though. You know what I mean?
I'm helping her with social media. So because of her, I'm open to seeing these things. I've also connected with other people who are doing women's circles, ecstatic dancing. Like I'm starting to reach out to people now because now that I'm in a place that I can. But I won't lie, I chicken out and then I don't go.
Well, I'm with I hang out with younger people, younger spiritual people. So
I'm 41, so like
I'm 36 myself. You know, so a lot of people, a lot of people I hang out with are around 30, 40. Right? That's what I mean by younger, I guess. Younger than Maggie.
Okay, yeah. Sure. Like I guess age doesn't matter because we're all different ages. I just want, for me personally, I want connection. I believe in organic, like meeting someone organically, but growing with each other. Like that's what's important.
Yeah, I know. I actually just started seeing this girl actually. Like we met organically at like this club. It was like a Movember event actually. I was just DJing for free. Like I just did it for charity. And like it was like a bartending competition. She's a bartender. Yeah. And it was hype. Like it was one of the best sets I ever did in my life. It was so lit. Anyway, so we stayed in touch. We stayed in touch after that, and like she's. I wouldn't say she's in the spiritual community, but she's pretty grounded. Like she has a tarot deck and everything. I'm like, okay, that's cool, you know. And
done.
Yeah, and she knows her moon. She knows her shit. So, but so far it's actually been pretty good. But like it's the whole working on it. You know, conscious to find someone is one thing. Conscious to work on a relationship and like kind of go through your shit is another thing too, right? So I'm taking it really slow. Where in the past, like I would like, you know what I mean? Like
yes. Slow and steady, honey. Slow and steady.
So what's the rush? What's the rush? You know, like that's big advice I would give.
What's the harm in not rushing either, right?
Yeah.
It can only serve you.
That's advice from my younger self too. I would just be like, yo, what's the rush? You know, like literally, literally just ask yourself that for so many things in your life. It's really helpful. I actually forgot about that. I used to tell myself that all the time, but I forgot about it until now. Actually, timely. Actually, because I think it's
meant to arise.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm just resting. I'm just chilling right now. It's been a crazy last couple of weeks, you know.
Yeah, you need to protect your energy. I went to 2 booths and I was like, that's it. I'm done for the year. Like I can't. Right. Yeah. It's good. Well, I hope that you rest your energy, and I hope that all great things happen for you. Keep in touch. This episode will come out next Wednesday at midnight.
Yeah, you guys are fast. So. That's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't think so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, I'm a podcaster. I respect your consistency. I respect your scheduling. I respect your there's a lot of masculine energy around that too, right? Like actually keeping something ordered, producing something, creating something, putting it out there. But in a good way. I say that in a good way.
We appreciate. We don't even. Thank you for even saying that. We honestly we started really quickly. We jumped on last year thinking, hey, podcast, and it just happened. And we didn't know where it was going to go, and it's taken off really well.
I love that.
Really grateful.
It's habitual now. It's like a thing.
It's a thing. We don't even think about it. And honestly, like we've met so many people through this worldwide that we're like really grateful for this opportunity. So thanks for mentioning that because we didn't even think that was a thing. We're like, we're just doing it every week.
Yeah. It's good though. It's so, man, like you should see my last post on my podcast was like almost like in October, you know what I mean? Like, so I have spurts where like I put out like 5-6 episodes, then I chill for a long time.
Do what works.
Yeah, exactly.
There is no manual to this thing.
No, we just do what feels right. And then we take break. Like we took a break in October because I was going through a lot, and Chelsea also was like feeling the need
integrating.
And then so we both decided that like it's time to take a little break. And so that's probably what we're going to do this year too. It's like we go full force, and then by October we take a break till January, so we can kind of alchemize and come with new energy.
That's good. Well, you guys stay in touch too. Thank you for this. This was amazing. But we'd love to learn more about your journeys and see how you guys are doing and be there and serve you guys and be there for you guys too.
And vice versa, we were here for you too, sweetie. Take good care of you.
Yeah, you
and
too.
Give your little one a big hug and
You too.
lots of love.
Okay.
Sending
Take care, guys.
love.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.